We should hang that LSU flag behind us. There's no color in this room.
All right. It says upcoming. We're gonna let it kind of build. Let the beat build. Check, check. Mic check 1, 2.
It's working.
Sounds like we got some audio. All right, let's roll. Yo, 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 welcome back to the Out the Box Show. I'm John Wallace alongside my co-host, James Luffy. Rory is out for the next few weeks. Rory is taking a little time off. Rory's had a big couple months. Although most of you know that Rory will be having a baby boy, we found out. I believe the due date is in September. Middle name John James. We
Confirmed.
have confirmed that and leaked that on this show. But he's also graduating law school.
Yep.
How crazy! And I think he's moving to New Orleans.
Really?
So eventually. So it is.
You want to give away any more of his private business on the pod?
No, I think that's it for that's it for this episode. Hopefully Rory's tuned in and he's not texting me on the side, telling me to quit with all that. But all that to say, we wish Rory the best of luck on his law school finals, his last shebang. We all remember what it felt like to take your last final, to close your last book. I still have not closed my last book, the yearbook that is, but we do have a filler. We have a filler, a very special
guest
co-host. We let Stinson, our good friend Stinson, longtime supporter of the Out of the Box Show. He's got his hat on. We let him sit in for a recording, and it was pretty much only because he let us drink out of his kegerator. So, yep. Stinson, welcome to the Out of the Box podcast. You've been on before, but you've never been a co-host for a full episode. So, welcome.
Yep, glad to be back.
All right. We have a very packed show for you guys. LSU baseball got shellacked up in Arkansas after a series sweep against Mississippi State. Then they go up to Arkansas and get swept. We're going to talk about what that means for the Tigers heading forward. Flock up, baby.
Flock.
Pels absolutely killing it. First round of the playoffs. Huge win over the Suns last night. We're going to get to that. Luffy, any spring football news, any updates you'd like to give?
Corey Kiner transferred. I think that's really the only big update, major update. But spring game Saturday in Tiger Stadium. It's not going to be the traditional spring game. It'll be like offense versus defense. But I think that's all for the football updates, really.
Okay. And maybe a few other little miscellaneous things. And, of course, the House Always Wins segment at the end of the show. Lots to get to on the Out of the Box show. But before we get to all that, I want to give a huge shout-out to the Boot Crew Media Network. The Boot Crew Media Network powers us. You see it every single week. This week, they are – we got to talk a little Zurich Classic in New Orleans as well. The Boot Crew Media Network is – swarming out there, talking to all the celebrities playing in the Pro-Am, covering all the big names of the tournament. This is New Orleans' biggest golf tournament.
Yep.
So that is going on this week.
Yeah, and Pro Pels talk has been just popping off with all their videos and stuff with the Pels and the playoffs.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people are wearing their shirts, like Pels Faithful, or like I think the King
Room shirts.
Yeah, and the Pels 12 versus the world.
Not on Herb.
Not on Herb. Love that shirt. I think I'm going to order me one. You can order clothes on the bootcrewmedia.com website. Go to the shop page, hit up Pro Pels Talk. They got all kind of merch on there, not just Pro Pels Talk, but since the Pels are in the playoff, it's festive right now. So make sure to follow the Boot Crew Media Network at Boot Crew Media on social media and bootcrewmedia.com. Also, one of the greatest things you can do in life is follow Boot Crew Media. A close second to that, I don't know. Maybe I don't know which one's first and which one's second. They're neck and neck. But you can call Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty for all your real estate needs. Blaine wants you to know that he wants to be your friend, your neighbor, and your agent. He wants you to know that if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, rent out a home, or find you a place to rent, he wants you to call or text him at 504-858-0031. Blaine's a mastermind in the real estate game. I know from personal experience, 100% grade A plus. I promise you, Blaine wants to help you out. 504-858-0031 for all your housing needs. All right. I know we're recording on Wednesday. I know we need the series against Missouri at the Box. We're back home this weekend, but what does that do to a team's morale, Luffy? Coming off such a massive sweep in Mississippi State, which, by the way, we own Mississippi State. Absolutely own Mississippi State. We said that on last week's episode. LSU has not lost a series at Mississippi State since 2003, I believe. Absolutely always feels good to go up there and sweep, but where does this team go heading into this weekend? The schedule gets a little bit easier coming off. What I really noticed is that Arkansas is just a damn good team, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're really good. Everything they do is good. Their pitching's good, even though they lost one of their better pitchers. They're great at the plate, and their defense is really good. And we talked about we need to get one game up there. We needed to get one game, and Friday night was the night, and we couldn't, and it was because their defense was just a hell of a lot better than ours. They made probably 2 or 3 like spectacular plays to save runs, and we could not make those plays.
Their middle infield is just,
Yep.
I mean, it's like LSU in previous years, right?
Yeah.
Like the Bregman, the Josh Smith, those types of players making the plays. And I feel like we were so spoiled with that for so long that it makes it that much harder now.
Yeah, and I mean, really the difference in that Friday night game was we could not make the plays in the infield, and they could. And like they made a lot of really good plays, and we couldn't simply execute the easy ones. So, you blow that game, and I think that really killed the momentum for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a close game, final score 5-4. We were winning, and then like you said, came down to errors. Move on to the Friday night game. It's so weird how many Thursday, Friday, Saturday series there are this year, but LSU gets skunked 4-0. Money came out, pitched decently, but with no run support, I mean, you have no shot on the road playing a top 10 team.
Yeah, really disappointing outing from the bats. I mean, it wasn't like this was one of even Arkansas's top 2 pitchers, really, from losing their ace, and they tore us up, and it's hard to watch because the lineup has a potential, and it's like they're pressing a little bit after the Friday night game or Thursday night game, and just never did anything really.
Yep, and then moving on to Saturday, I actually I had an Out the Box listener. He knows who he is. He texted me, and he was asking if he should take LSU on the money line to not get swept, basically to win the final game of the series. And I was a little hesitant because coming off an absolute shutout, you either do one of two things, right? You either come out swinging and the bats are just flying, or the more likely, of the two, you're probably not going to win the next game. It's so demoralizing. You're not in the driver's seat winning the first game on Thursday night, and then the next game you get shut out. You get a goose egg.
Embarrassing.
How are you supposed to come out on Saturday, the final game of the series, and perform and feel like you accomplished anything? I'm going to keep pushing throughout the season. Like, you have to win the first game of the series, right? No matter what. And we were in position to. It's almost like and people say this all the time, like, it's almost like I'd rather it not even be close than to see these errors. Yep. And like I've said before, it's very difficult to field a ground ball. It's very difficult to hit a baseball. Everybody knows that. But it just seems like these are routine plays that if you could just get rid of them, we'd be in infinitely better of a position.
It just sucks losing to Arkansas, right? They beat us 3 times in basketball. They beat us in football in overtime, and they beat us in 3 times in baseball. That does not happen again in a future year here at LSU. That will never ever happen again. If it does, it's a shame. It's a shame how like far down the programs like kind of are in general right now. But for Arkansas to sweep us like that, it's embarrassing.
Can we just kind of talk for a second? So looking like whenever we gave our season preview for this season, right? We were hyped up. We were ready to go, and even in non-conference play for what? For our hitting, and we just assumed our fielding was going to be, at worst
Before the season,
slightly worse before the season,
not
right?
during this, not
Right.
at any point during the
Right.
season. Yeah,
But what I'm saying is the thing that we thought was going to be our weakest point is our pitching. And our pitching, for what it is and for what has come of it, is not the main issue. And that is what is so frustrating, because you have guys like Money last year got maybe a few Sunday starts, maybe I believe
they cut him from he was essentially cut from the team. He wasn't on the postseason roster. And if Maneri was back as head coach, he wouldn't even have been back on the team.
But what I'm saying is exactly.
Yeah.
You have guys that are stepping up. You have Razelman, you have Dutton, you have these guys that are coming in and pitching well for what it is, better than expected.
And the pitching was good enough to win possibly the series this weekend. Not only just one game, especially for Thursday night, the first game, but it was good enough to win overall. Like you need to be scoring in that 6 to 8 run, especially after the first night. You need to be scoring 6 to 8 runs, and to score 0 on Friday was pretty disappointing.
So we'll kind of clean up some of or actually let's go ahead. We'll talk about the midweek game. I actually attended the Wally Pontiff Junior Classic, the last one ever that they're, or maybe not ever, but the last one that they're planning on doing. This is it for the Wally Pontiff Classic.
Really?
It's been going for about 20 years now. I did hear Nicholas Pontiff, who also played baseball for LSU. I heard him on Moscona mention that it was just a lot to ask of LSU to put on this fundraiser and whatnot. And generally, the Wally Pontiff Classic is in New Orleans at UNO, right?
Yep.
And I think what he said was that LSU would have to give up a home game each year for the game to be played in New Orleans, and that was a lot to ask money-wise. So I think what they decided was that 20 years later, you blow it out. You have and I'll be honest, the attendance was phenomenal last night.
That's
Obviously,
great.
ULL, the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they're the University of Louisiana Lafayette, not Louisiana. They showed out. It was a great environment. I did get to sit in the club level, which I felt like a king down there. I'd never been down in there before. First person I saw when I walk in, Skip Bourbon.
Yep.
It was awesome.
He's always down there.
Yes. So the food, the drinks, everything was great down there. It was a good perspective to watch an LSU baseball game, and we played well. Well. Trey Morgan had a dinger early on in the game. The
Jordy
pitching,
hit a dinger.
Yes, Thompson hit the dinger. Still a few of these, just like, I hate this word, but pesky errors.
Yeah.
Doty made a few. Morgan, I don't know how that guy still has a hamstring after the amount of stretching out that he does at first base and he catches the ball 95% of the time, right? I mean, it has to be an absolute air mail for him to miss it. But all that to say, it was good leading into another SEC series at the Box this weekend to get a quality win against a good in-state school. The
confidence builder, at the very least, just to get back on somewhat of a track, because you got to win this weekend.
Yes, 100%. Stinson, do midweek games matter? After hearing that,
yes, they matter.
Fantastic analysis. And you heard it first here. So,
I mean, you got to think about it. Do you like to win or do you like to lose?
Amen.
That's right.
Quality insight only on the Out the Box show.
There you go.
Cannot wait till Rory gets back.
Yep.
All right, let's clean up the past of LSU baseball and let's get to moving on to this weekend's series.
Yeah, I mean, and this guy right here, Stinson, can tell you Workbox LLC, the cleanest porta potties in the business. He has multiple experiences using them.
Yep.
What do you think about that, Sense?
Well, it's the best family business in Baton Rouge.
Yep. And if you need them, you call 225-343-4886. If you need a portable toilet, you need a luxury portable toilets. They have the nice setups. Like if you're at Ole Miss tailgating, they have the storage containers. They have portable offices. They have roll-off dumpsters if you're redoing a house. If you're building a house and you need a dumpster, if Stinson gets you into a new house, you need a dumpster, you call Martine Patio at Workbox LLC at 225-343-4886. Best in Louisiana.
You know what I just thought of is that you could use literally all of their products if, say, you remodel your home.
Yeah.
You get the roll-off dumpster.
Yep.
You use a porta potty out there for the construction crew.
That's right.
You throw all your trash in the roll-off dumpster. They take it away. You get rid of the porta potty. Then you host a party at your house to celebrate your newly renovated home. Tents, nice luxury restroom.
That's right.
I mean, they do it all. You really can't complain when Workbox is, in your vicinity.
Exactly. So, all right. Let's move on to this weekend series. LSU heads back to the box. It seems like forever, right? Since LSU played an SEC series, back-to-backs are tough. We ended up splitting them, went 3-3. As we mentioned, Mississippi State, Missouri, Mississippi State, and Arkansas. So, looking ahead to this weekend, Luffy, what does LSU like? Last weekend, your main point was that we got to get one.
Yeah, got to get one. That was my thing last weekend. This weekend, it's a must win.
But I think it's a must win, but you have to win the first game of the series. I'm going to keep pushing that.
And you're probably not going to win the series if you don't win the first game. So it's a must win series. Don't need a sweep, but need to get 2 out of 3 at least. But it's absolutely a must win at home against an average SEC team. And I mean, you really need to win. The bats need to come alive. Money and Hilliard are going to have to come up big for us. And I mean, look, it's pretty simple. You're at home at the box and you need to win a series to stay in that group of elite baseball teams like you want to be. And you cannot do that without beating Mizzou this weekend at home.
Yeah. So, and Missouri's coming off a series win against Kentucky. Kentucky, another mid-tier SEC team. But if this were a few years ago, LSU baseball would not even be blinking an eye at Missouri, right? And that just goes to show the I guess how the SEC has gotten better. But I did hear something that Todd Walker said. He was on the Schooner the other day as well, and he said there were 2 things that kind of caught me off guard. One was that maybe the SEC is just not as good this year because they're all just kind of beating up on each other short of Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing he said was that LSU on paper, there's nothing wrong with them, right? Which I thought was kind of an odd statement because obviously you can count the error percentage. And you had even said at one point that our errors were actually worse than what was on paper. They weren't scoring that correctly. Yep. So I think you're right, Luffy. I think obviously the goal of every series is to win the series, but I think to add a little bonus to that, we absolutely have to win the first game.
Yeah, it's a must win. It's a must win series, and you got to win the first game to do that.
If we don't sweep, we pull the program. I want everyone off the field.
Funding's pulled.
That is your opinion.
I mean, we should just quit and
it
start
is
again
Mizzou.
next
You
year.
can't lose to Mizzou.
I mean, what is Mizzou good in? Tennis?
Bowling.
Really?
They're good in some sport, right?
Cricket.
Is there women's basketball good?
No, pretty bad.
Maybe. What was their record last year, Simpson?
Who, Mizzou?
Yeah,
women's basketball.
Women's basketball.
Probably 0-14.
They're good in school, but not really.
They beat us in the academics.
They're probably not good in school either. So nothing.
Okay, so yes, LSU heading back to the box this weekend to play Missouri. The following weekend, I wish we had Rory to kind of give us. Shout
out Carl too. Shout out Carl Dunn, Carl the cat.
Yes. Rory always does give us.
He's been making the noise this weekend in the box.
I bet he's just been itching to get back. But what I was going to say is LSU will play Missouri this weekend. We have Georgia coming to the box. another SEC school
Yep.
that's kind of fallen in line. We do have UNO next week, but anyway, all that to say, we have a nice grouping of series at the box before we head to Tuscaloosa, where things could get a little out of hand.
We need to go 7-0 next 7.
All right. Do we want to make like a bet that if that happens, we will do something?
I think we'll go 5-2, but
no, I'm talking about if we win the next 7 games.
If we win the next 7
Sure.
games,
If
we
we
fly
win-
to the
all right.
we fly to the
All right, I got it. I actually got it. We will do an out the box hoodie / merch. We got to figure out kind of our merch deal, but we will do a $50 giveaway.
all
How
right.
about that?
I'm down. 7-0. That's
7-0.
asking a lot.
7-0.
make it 100.
$100 giveaway. We just doubled down.
Just double down.
Out the box fans, you better be rooting your ass off for a 7-game sweep of
Get loud.
of the next 7 games. All right. And I'll even throw another bone in there. $50 for 6-1. How's that?
Okay.
50 for 6-1.
I would say 75, but
Well, no, we're gonna go 50. All right. Who's the next ad, Luffy? Oh, we got DraftKings.
Yeah, we do.
Have you been doing any betting, Stinson?
Use code BOOT.
sure have.
Yes. So Stinson, if you had to come up with a parlay and they all had to be a 3-leg parlay of different sports, what would they be?
Any season? Or we're talking about in season?
No, I mean
right
they
now?
gotta be in season, right?
Okay. What's I don't know. So we're doing money line parlays. I'm a big money line guy. So can you parlay a sweep for LSU?
Let's just say you can, and you'll get good odds.
So say we do sweep LSU, Pelly's money line.
Okay.
They've been smacking.
Flock.
And then who's our midweek game next week? You said
UNO.
UNO.
Yeah, that's like it should be minus 1,000. If it's not, then we're gonna have to pull the funding again. But I'm doing a minus 1,000 LSU midweek game. So we got the sweep, we got the Pellies, and we got LSU midweek game. $20 to win 20 grand.
You can do. I don't think that's the odds, but you can
Could be.
do that. You can do that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings wants you to know that baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. You can also bet on Major League Baseball. Add a 4th leg if you want.
Good.
New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If sports books aren't available in your state yet, you can still take a swing at Stacks of Green with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Baseball Contest. New customers can play free for thousands in prizes with their first deposit. Pick a lineup of 2 pitchers and 8 batters while staying under the salary cap and rack up points for hits, runs, strikeouts, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BOOT, B-O-O-T. Bet just $5 and win $200 in free bets if your team wins their games. That's promo code BOOT at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus, restrictions apply. MLB trademarks used with permission. See show notes for details.
Look, John, you see what Stinson's doing back there? What is he doing?
He is filling up his beer glass.
You know where he used to do that?
Not filling up my beer glass.
You know where he used to do that?
Where at?
The House Bar in Tigerland. You can catch DJ Road Dogg there almost any big Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. House Bar in Tigerland. Incredible merch. We're missing our merch today. I did not have time to change.
I couldn't. I forgot it.
Sweatshirts, cool hoodies, sweatshirts, hats. What else they got? They have everything. Koozies. HouseBarInTigerland.com.
You can go in there and book your own party.
You can book a party. I'll just hand this over to a former bartender / manager, Mr. Stinson. Tell us about the house.
What makes the house special?
Well, I mean, it is the best.
You got to turn your mic on.
Well, it is the best bar in Tigerland. A lot of people already know that. And they got everything from shots of Jaeger bombs
Beautiful.
to lemon drops.
How about their pizza?
I know John is a big lemon drop guy. Their pizza is incredible. I mean, phenomenal. I don't know if you've had it, John, but
I have.
they got a lot of good dough flippers in the back. I've seen them in action.
So they have the best bartenders and the best dough flippers in Tigerland.
Oh, and the best DJ, DJ
And
Road
the best
Dogg.
DJ.
Yeah, and DJ Rodo.
So,
Like we said last week, he will be bringing his child there to spin the disc with him.
yes. All right, let's do.
Oh wait, John, hold up. And the reason I didn't fill up your beer is because you have to actually drink the beer for it to be filled up.
Could you use the top off? If I wasn't carrying the show, maybe I could have drank more.
Well, I mean,
all right,
excuses.
All right, y'all need to chill out. So, all right, Pels, flock up, baby.
Flock
Who-
money line.
If you would have told me at the beginning, midway point of the season that the Pels would make it to the first round and be in a 1-1 series with the Suns, arguably one of the best teams in the league this year, would you have called me crazy?
I would not. I'm a huge flocker. I like to flock, and I think that the Pels have the roster. I mean, the currently constructed roster it's pretty solid, and they've been playing that way. Bi is just like he's a young KD. I feel like you don't want to lose somebody like that because the potential, like he still has so much potential to unlock, and like CJ McCollum was the perfect guy to add to this roster and be a grown up, be a vet, a winner, a guy who knows how to win. He's been there before, and he's given this team a whole new like level of confidence in Pels and 5.
Speaking of, that would mean they went out. You did not. You're looking at me very seriously. You were not laughing.
Pels
not
and 5
funny.
is
Okay.
Pels and 5 is my pick for House always win.
I think that was. I do think going off of that, talking about Ingram, 31 points in the first half. What how does that happen?
He just has that like smooth frame where it's like exactly like KD. I mean KD's the comparison because they're tall, they're lanky, and the step back's good, the shot's good, he can drive it, and he can really do it all. I mean, the guy's full of potential and just really needs to realize he's an NBA superstar, and he's slowly realizing that, and then like the product comes out and he balls.
Yes. So
He's a pure scorer. He's a pure hooper.
So that is your House Always Wins pick. I know we're not to that segment yet, but
Pels and 5,
Pels and
baby.
5. All right.
We are. We just did the house bar in Tigerland.
Well, we're doing a little. We got to talk a little spring game as well.
So we're just talking Pels with everything.
Yeah, you kind of jumped the gun on that.
All right.
All good.
But I mean, thank you for letting Luffy know.
Well, I mean, what spring game stuff do you have to talk about?
Well, I just had one question. No, I had a question. So obviously the amount of players you actually need to run a full scrimmage. I know Coach Brian Kelly has mentioned that might be an issue. But my main question is, so last year, do you remember what we were talking about in the spring game? I'm pretty sure Miles Brennan didn't take a snap until like what did you say, like 45 minutes into the game?
Yeah, he was the last QB to.
I'm very interested. Is this spring game going to be an indicator of who's going to be the starting quarterback this coming fall?
I don't think so. I don't think the staff will give it away. I think they want to keep it quiet, obviously, but they don't want guys to transfer right now. And I guess Jaden Daniels can't transfer, so it would be really Miles and Nuss were the two that they're trying to, I guess you could say, keep happy. And all the reports seem like it's been very positive for Nuss. Like he's kind of snuck into the Jaden Daniels versus Miles Brennan battle, and Miles has looked good. Apparently, Daniels has been maybe not quite there as far as throwing the ball, but he's getting better. But I don't know. They won't give anything away because they want everybody to stay on the roster. So,
what do we and what should we expect from Walker Howard?
I think you're going to see him play. I'm assuming they're going to go. So they're going offense versus defense. We don't have enough players to go full team.
That's what I was talking. That's what I meant.
Well, I mean, there's not really much to that. Our roster's thin. We don't have that many scholarship guys.
That's what I'm saying. This spring game is going to be different than in previous years.
Yeah, it's going to be way different. But I still think it'll be a good, like, it's going to be fun to see them practice and go like full speed. There's only a little portion of the offense and defense that have been put in so far. So you're not going to see a ton, but I think you'll see like some depth chart, like especially with like the lines. I think you'll see the starters kind of come together, but the quarterbacks, I don't think so. I think you will see Walker Howard, and you're going to see why he was rated so highly because Duke can spin it. We've seen some videos since they've had a ton of media access. He looks good, and he looks like the coaches have said he's gotten a lot better since practice one, and I'm excited to see really all the quarterbacks and see what they can do because we got to see a little Nuss last year, and there was some good and some bad. So if people are seriously talking about him being the starter, I want to see that step up in maturity.
Okay, Stinson, any key points you want us to look out for in the spring game?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I think everything was just covered just now. I mean, Luffy, presented that beautifully. Thank you for that. I mean, that was like a
You're
song
welcome.
written out of heaven.
So,
but look, this is a thin football team.
Yeah.
Well, still is a very thin football team in a lot of positions.
Well, okay, so kind of what you mentioned at the start of the show, I just remembered. So Corey Kiner,
Corey Kiner transferred out. I forgot this. Seven Banks, which is an awesome name, by the way. Seven Banks. How fucking awesome would that be? Your name?
His name is Seven. Spelled obviously not like the number 7, but I think it's kind of a play on letters.
Yeah, so he joined us from Ohio State transfer portal to LSU. He should be. I mean, I would assume that he'd be in that mix to start the cornerback position because that is maybe the thinnest position we got right now. So that's big news for us. But yep, Corey Kiner to Cincinnati.
Does that mean that John Emery is making like strides to get in the good graces of Brian Kelly?
Yeah, you'd hope so. And I also think there was definitely something going on. The Cincinnati coaches have definitely been pushing him because he committed like an hour after he put his name to the transfer portal. I thought Kiner would play and kind of have like be one of the rotational backs, but now it'll be between Armani Goodwin to step up, really. And I like his running style. He's like quick and violent and fast. So we'll get to see more of him.
All right. Ought to be interesting. It's always good whenever the spring game rolls around because that all you got to do is get through the summer and then the greatest time of year is back. All right. Let's get to Stinson. You better have your house always wins pick ready to go. I'm coming to you.
Me first?
If you got it.
I don't have it yet.
Why did you volunteer? It was almost like you were looking at me like you were volunteering to go.
I already
first.
gave you one pick. I gave you a freaking lock parlay. Cannot lose parlay.
You did. I didn't hear any odds on that, but I guess I'll go first.
It was all money lines. But
I guess I'll go first. I think I picked an MLB game last week. I don't remember how it turned out. I'm sure it was a winner.
If you don't watch the games you bet, then
I did. I just don't remember. Dude, last week was a long time ago. A lot of things have happened since then. I'm betting on golf this week. Luffy would be proud.
Yep.
Obviously have to. This kind of a homer pick. The Zurich Classic in New Orleans this past weekend. The Boo Crew Media Network's going to be out there. I am taking the hot hand. The pair of Palmer and Scheffler. What are you shaking? Of course. Top 10 finish plus 120.
I like it.
I mean, is that not? Does that not sound like a lot?
It's a safe bet. Yeah.
It's plus odds. It's plus 120.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's cool.
I like it. Scotty's been just insane lately. Hopefully, Ryan Palmer can carry his weight, but we'll see. I'm gonna take a golf bet too. Pels and 5 though. I don't have the odds for that, so I'm not giving it. But Zalatoris and Davis Riley plus 3,000 to win. I'm taking Zalatoris plus Davis Riley in that pairing to win. I like Zalatoris' game for the Zurich. I think the course sets up well for him. Davis Riley, young player coming on, plays a lot of good golf, can make some putts. I think they win this week.
How are the greens looking? Have you seen any footage from the Zurich?
They should be pretty firm and fast. I would assume, but Not as fast as Augusta, but they should still be rolling because the weather's been like decent lately. It rained a little last week, but the Greens here in Baton Rouge, I'll tell you, they're rolling. They're rolling fast here. So I would assume they got them quick down in New Orleans for the classic Stinson. What you got?
I like. I'm a big Kevin Kisner guy. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Brown. That's plus 8,000.
Yep.
Just so y'all know.
Kids better be balling.
Yeah. He's gonna be balling. He's gonna have a little chaw in. He's gonna be chilling. He's gonna be hanging out. It's not gonna be much for him, and he's just gonna go out there and play the game that he knows how to play.
So one time in the Zurich, kids in the dark. It was pitch black, darker than it is outside right now. He had to make a 56 yard shot from off the green to send it to a playoff. Drained it, made it.
Wow.
Nothing but net.
Kids.
Yep.
All righty. Well, there you have it, Stinson. You did all right. You did all right. I'm proud of you. I know this. I know this podcast and life isn't for everybody, but you may have a future in it. So we are you going to join us back again next week? Rory's taking next week off too. He's got finals.
Yeah, sure. I'll join. I mean, as long as the kegerator's back here, I'll probably be back here as well.
Yep. I think that's a safe bet because if the kegerator is not back here with beer in it,
I'm probably in the front row.
You won't be back here.
That's true.
So thank you guys so much for listening. Another one in the books, Out the Box, episode 105. We couldn't do it without you guys. We're looking forward to a great summer. I still have had a lot of people asking me about a baseball tailgate. We are looking at dates. Some of them, they say TBA on the schedule. Hopefully LSU will make a regional and it will be hosted at Alex Box. Those are always nighttime games.
Well, when's Georgia?
Georgia is next weekend.
Okay.
Not this.
We'll have a tailgate out there.
I think
next week.
I think it's a 2:00. It's a 2:00 Saturday game. So
That's all
we
right.
got to look at it. We got to look at it
somewhere.
We are going to definitely hype it up. So we're definitely going to hype it up. I promise you will not be left out whenever we are planning it. Shout out to the House Bar in Tigerland, Blaine Loop with Keller Williams Realty, who also wants you to know that Keller Williams is an equal opportunity housing partner. Each office is independently owned and operated, and DraftKings, as well as Workbox LLC and the Boot Crew Media Network.
Love Workbox.
Thank you guys so much. All right. Love you. We're gonna float. We're gonna float a few names out there that may or may not end up being the first name of Rory's kid. So we already know the middle name. We already know the middle name, right? John James.
Beautiful.
I am going to say Peter.
I'm saying Ponderosa.
Xavier.
It's got it. Okay, I thought yours was going to start with a P since we're kind of going with that. So Xavier John James, and then we will announce the last name.
I already knew it was a boy. I was plus 150 on boy, and I already knew.
Y'all didn't even get my joke that the last name's, it's already pretty much decided.
Yeah, but we won't.
Yeah, I mean that was.
We're not going to spoil that though.
Yeah,
it was a really bad joke.